been billed as the great mob trial got underway today, but slowly. It was supposed to be devoted to selecting a jury, but lawyers for the 5 defendants made a long series of motions aimed at stalling the trial. Phelps Hawkins has a report.
Even the location of this trial is controversial. The pre-trial hearings were held in Somerset County, but the trial was moved here to the Monmouth County Courthouse at the suggestion of the Attorney General. Defense lawyers have argued that the move implies special treatment for their clients, possibly suggesting to the public and prospective jurors that the defendants really are prominent crime figures, before the trial has proved that to be true. State prosecutors, led by Assistant Attorney General Michael Brown, have said this case will prove for the first time the existence of a secret nationwide crime network called La Cosa Nostra. The 5 defendants in the case, on trial for conspiracy and charges running from gambling to murder, sat impassively in the spectator session of the tiny courtroom as their lawyers argued with Superior Court Judge Michael Imbriani. Andrew Gerardo of Newark, Thomas Pee Wee DePhillips of Belleville, James Vito Montemarano of Long Branch, Angelo Sica of West Orange, and Anthony Dovingo of Roseland, who tried to cover his face in court. But at the lunch break, it was Sica who covered his face and walked right past his car as a result.
Well, I mean, we gave you nothing.
The other defendants enjoyed a walk with their attorneys, appearing more casual, even friendlier than their stoic courtroom behavior. After lunch, the often heated arguments continued. Defense lawyers attacked the secretly taped conversations, some 60 hours of them, on which much of the state's case is based, saying they had not been sealed properly to prevent tampering. But Judge Imbriani was having none of that, pointing out that indictments were brought 9 months ago, plenty of time to challenge the wiretaps. 12 jurors will decide the case. They, along with 5 alternates, will be selected starting tomorrow morning. This so-called great mob trial is fast becoming the great traveling mob trial. It started out in Morristown, is now here in Freehold, and Friday a key action is to take place at the Passaic County Courthouse in Patterson. That's where the state's star witness, alleged mob hitman Patrick Pizzuto, will try to convince yet another Superior Court judge that he should not be forced to testify in the trial here. In Freehold, I'm Phelps Hawkins.
The trial is as notable for who isn't there as well as who is. Ruggiero Richie the Boot Boiardo, alleged to be the crime boss for New Jersey, has been severed from the case because of ill health. John Russo died of natural causes. His brother Anthony was murdered gangland style. One other defendant has pleaded guilty, and yet another is to go under open heart surgery. Good evening. 4 defendants in the so-called great mob trial received tough sentences today. One other who had pleaded guilty before the trial was also sentenced. In that highly publicized case, the state attempted to prove the existence of a nationwide crime ring and detailed crimes ranging from murder to extortion. Phelps Hawkins reports.
There was no mistaking the impact of the trial on Superior Court Judge Michael Imbriani. Noting that the tentacles of organized crime are far-reaching, Imbriani condemned the heinous and nefarious activity of the defendants and their colleagues in organized crime. He said it was obvious they lived 2 lives, like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was the Mr. Hyde element he was concerned about, the side that is sinister, evil, and corrupt. Andrew Gerardo, the distinguished-looking acting leader of the New Jersey branch of the Genovese crime family of New York, the acting capo regime, 9.5 to 14 years in Trenton State Prison, and $6,000 fine on 5 counts of conspiracy and gambling. Vito Montemarano, the shore tough guy, faced the heaviest sentence, 182 years. Judge Imbriani's sentence, 22.5 to 32 years in Trenton State, and $1,000 on 10 counts of conspiracy, attempted fraud, extortion, and loan sharking. Anthony Dovingo, the alleged mob hitman, was found innocent on murder charges when the jury apparently didn't believe the state's star witness, mob informer Patrick Pizzuto. But Dovingo was found guilty of conspiracy, and today got 2.5 to 3 years in prison and $1,000. Pizzuto has gotten his reward, a new identity, and new life in the federal witness relocation program. Angelo Carmen Sica got 6.5 to 9 years and a $3,000 fine, and Thomas Pee Wee DePhillips 2.5 to 3 years. DePhillips was not tried, having pleaded guilty before the trial. The 2-year state investigation leading up to the trial depended heavily on telephone wiretaps, room bugs, and hidden body recording devices, resulting in some 60 hours of recorded conversations. And today, Deputy Attorney General Julian Wilsey revealed a state grand jury is investigating charges of jury tampering by Vito Montemarano. Wilsey would supply no more information. After today's session, Vito Montemarano was returned to Monmouth County Jail, the other defendants freed on bail. All are planning appeals. At Monmouth County Courthouse, I'm Phelps Hawkins.